Welcome to the masterplay session. Streets of Rage. Sega! This city was once a happy, peaceful place, until one day, a powerful secret criminal organization took over. This vicious syndicate soon had control of the government and even the police force. The city has become a center of violence and crime where no one is safe. Amid this turmoil, a group of determined young police officers has sworn to clean up the city. Among them are Adam Hunter, Axel Stone, and Blaze Fielding. They are willing to risk anything, even their lives, on the streets of rage. So, in the 80s, Sega released this awesome game, Streets of Rage. Basically, it was modeled after the career of Al Gore. Before he became a politician, he brawled on the mean streets of LA in the 80s. And gang warfare was kind of a big deal. And you have this villain here, Mr. X, who's taken over the world in the police force, like you heard. These guys go rogue and they need to beat the shit out of people. As you can see here, it asserts that women are weaker because you gotta be in power. So they're just throwing, dropping knowledge on you right from the start. But here outside the Pine Pot Breakfast Diner, you gotta get mean with people. In Japan, this game was actually called Bare Knuckle, which is cool. You hear him say it sometimes. The El Divo Bar. We call it Streets of Rage. In Japan, it was Bare Knuckle. The European version was called Dreadful Fellows Engaging in Fisticuffs, which isn't a very good name. Very hard to put on the arcade cabinet marquee. Notice how that garage door opened. In the 80s, a lot of people would wait behind garage doors on crowded city streets because they wanted to beat each other up. You see this a lot in like Double Dragon, Bad Dudes, Streets of Rage, Final Fight. I mean, it's kind of a common occurrence. People would wait behind opening garage doors or right outside diners. They would fight. They would also like to fight a lot of times in elevators, and a lot of times it's kind of a mechanical place. See, there's another garage door, guy fighting it. Notice how you can swing the pipe and knock down 3 and 4 guys at once. That's really realistic. At the time, that was kind of shocking and controversial. There was so much violence, but the producer really wanted to go for that realistic feel. And also, you notice how the Axel character, who's modeled after Al Gore, he only eats whole foods, like whole apples, whole turkeys. Doesn't like stuff processed or invited. Everything whole. This game had an interesting grapple system. When people got too close to you, you would just automatically grapple them, or they would grapple you, depending on who initiated. And instead of just hitting them, you could optionally throw them. Notice this time this is a woman waiting behind. Yes, he eats a... Actually, I take it back. That was actually only a part of the turkey. Here he's calling in his police backup, and the way police help is by shooting a firebomb from a long way away. It's killing everyone. That's standard police procedure in the 80s. It was kind of a different time. And here you can see the Al Gore character engaging with a fellow who has a boomerang. A lot of people were hurt with boomerangs in the 80s. It was a big problem. The politicians and people were trying to get boomerangs off the streets, get the boomerangs out of criminals' hands, but if you pass laws against boomerangs, then only criminals will have boomerangs. Good citizens won't. So So it was fairly popular, and 1 year after the battle, the city that had been plagued with crime and violence was safe and peaceful. We got most of the boomerangs off the streets. However, evil has once again cast its shadow over the city. Giant purple hands doomed the entire city. They don't really say which city. Mr. X, the syndicate boss, believed destroyed by the three young vigilantes, has come back to life stronger than ever. Thirsty for revenge, he kidnaps Adam in an attempt to lure Axel and Blaze into a trap. Axel and Blaze set out to help their faithful companion. Joined by Axel's friend, Max the Wrestler, and Skate, something to determine. Oh my god, it's scrolling too fast. Four young friends, rage burning inside, make a stand for friendship and peace. And obviously the way you promote friendship and peace is to get out there on the street and whoop some ass. You know, people just don't understand until you put your fist in their mouth and your knee into their jawbone. Here it gives you the stats again. Blaze is kind of all around, Skate's really fast, but I'm gonna go again with Axel because he's modeled after, a lot of people think he's modeled after Axel Foley. He's not. He's modeled after Al Gore because he's pre-political days, you know, before he was making up stuff about climate change and global warming. He was out on the streets whooping that ass. You see, in the Streets of Rage 2, there's a big improvement in the graphics. The sprites got even bigger, more colorful, bolder. They moved faster. There's a lot more work layering. You had the high quality layering of the graphics in the background and the foreground. Classic brawler style, you always gotta punch trash cans because they usually have whole apples or whole turkeys in them. You can eat them. This game introduced better super moves in a variety. You had one you could activate while standing still, one you could activate by going forward and pressing the special button, and then there was also a move you could double tap forward and hit X for the specific character Axel. That actually is the bare knuckle move, which the game is named for in Japan. There you can see that guy. That's Sagat's cousin. Sagat being from Street Fighter. His cousin's in here, and you have to beat up a lot of him. Yeah, there he is with green pants. Sometimes he changes pants, kind of try to trip you up. Just like how that guy changed clothes from blue to green. But you can't fall for that kind of stuff. Just gotta stay focused, beat that ass. You know, punch everything, pick up any objects you can, stab all kinds of stuff. You want to keep the streets safe, because if you don't go around whooping the shit out of people, then kids are going to grow up, start playing with boomerangs. It's out of control. And our schools do nothing to help it. You know, I'm trying right now to draft a bill to get boomerang detectors put in their schools. But a lot of people are fighting me on it, you know. I live in Texas, and people don't want to take away the boomerangs. What they don't understand is we're not trying to take away your boomerangs. We just want to make sure the boomerangs don't end up in the hands of people that would use the boomerangs in a criminal way. But that's a major problem. Had a nice villainous laugh. See right there, I executed the bare knuckle maneuver. Didn't quite finish him off, but did some good damage. The main key to these games was spacing, and timing. Luckily, the console ones, they were a little more forgiving than the arcade versions as far as moving vertically. You can see here, second game, they were making much more use of like having multiple grounds where you have a background, the main middle ground where you interacted, and the foreground has some objects. It looks like you're in a club setting. You have multiple transitions all within one level. It's pretty cool, pretty advanced. Whereas other beat 'em ups, it would sometimes just each level would be one or two places. Yeah, Donovan, that's the guy. That's Sagat's cousin. They go out, they hang out in Thailand and get pad thai, which is some kind of food. You'll notice there's some pool tables in the background. Back in the 80s, everybody always played pool all the time, everywhere when they were outside. They would go to bars and clubs, play pool, fight, obviously. The thing was, you stayed outside and fought on the street as a street fighter. There'd be all kinds of crazy shit happening. People would be throwing fireballs, doing spin kicks and super dragon punches. If you just went inside, say the pool halls, and just kept walking to the right, there wouldn't be as much of that nonsense. It would be a little more, you know, standard fisticuffs. Punching, kicking, little knees, a little bit of throws, maybe a suplex here and there. Maybe some DDTs, which I don't actually know what that is. Here's the third transition for the stage. The effects of the rain. You encounter this guy and his pecs are so huge that his shirt rips off. Yeah. It was highly charged sexual content. You won't see that kind of stuff these days, but back in the 80s, it was kind of anything goes. The American public in general just loved large pectoral muscles that are oiled up. So that was a big feature in 3D brawlers, and the Japanese developers had no problem portraying that. You know, they're not repressed in any way. They're free and open and artistic. They like portraying the bulging pectorals. And that's an important part of fighting. Streets of Rage 3. Press start. Here you can play as Axel and Blaze again, or Skate, Adam's little brother, and also the fighting robot man Zan, which is really weird. He's an old, skinny man, and he does karate. He's a robot. It makes very little sense. Phew, that was close. And there's seconds. Phew, we're lucky we found the bomb. What's our next move, Axel? Well, Zan was right about the bomb. Maybe he's right about the robots too, but I'll have to see to believe it. Let's try and lead it from the punks. I'm sorry you don't believe me, Axel, but there's a time to wait. Let's go. I don't know why the fucking text is going by so fast. I must have been mashing the A button a lot. Here, there wasn't as much of a graphical jump from Streets of Rage 2 to 3, but they do have more enemies on screen at a time and more colors. Plus, Axel's shirt is yellow now because he's sweated a lot into it and probably pee-peed on it a few times, so it's not pristine white anymore. There's a lot more women here. Like, you notice that one's named Susie, because in the 80s it was okay to beat the crap out of women. You know, I know now people kind of look down on it, but back then you could show them what's what. When women came at you in spandex with whips and stuff, you know, you fucking beat the crap out of them. That's just how it went. It wasn't even a question of right or wrong. I haven't commented much on the music yet, but you'll notice this game has a lot of music, and you know, the music is pretty outstanding for a beat 'em up. Pretty energetic, gets you going. A lot of music. It has a lot of graphics too. And the music really goes with the graphics. You know, kind of immerses you in feeling of, you know, being there in the hard streets of Rage and going through warehouses and elevators and having to fight people. And for some reason, it always ends up being robots. And oh look, it's like a bright day out there. That's interesting. Playing through a warehouse and don't know why I just assumed it would be like nighttime, because it was always nighttime before when we were raging on the streets. I guess daytime for once. Yeah, there's Donovan, Sagat's cousin again. Oh, there you can see in the suit. That is the CEO of Konami. He just shows up to generally like, fuck you up. CEO and the vice president of Konami. Those are a pretty tough enemy, and notice how they're using a gun in a brawler. That's just what kind of assholes they are. That's Konami for you. Yeah! Yeah, when the enemies die, they do not die well. So here we transition into a kind of grubby industrial area. You got the big fat guy there, which in brawlers, for some reason, fat guys are able to breathe fire or spew stuff from the mouth. I don't know how that became a trope, but it's kind of entertaining. I don't know if I even let these guys have a chance to breathe any fire. Oh yeah, there he goes. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive ability. Being fat gives you fire breath. All you gotta do is give him a little bare knuckle. Bare knuckle. Bare knuckle. And as is the case with most brawlers, jump kicks are very powerful. Very useful for spacing. And you don't have any extra melee weapons available. Also, this game featured guys on motorcycles right away. Streets of Rage 1 and 2, you wouldn't see the guys on motorcycles till the further levels. Streets of Rage 3, right to the motorcycles right away. Because in the 80s it was common to ride around motorcycles with spiked football gear and tiger stripes. That was just a thing. And, you know, people would do that in the middle of brawls. They would be down at the wharf and just riding motorcycles, driving by, like punching people. You know, it was a different time. There's Donovan again, Sagat's cousin. Really, Streets of Rage teaches you a lot of important lessons. It teaches you that if you have a conflict, whether it's civil or personal, you can kind of punch your way out of anything. And whenever you see people, they're probably going to attack you, so grab whatever you can and hit them with it. You know, you don't want to give anyone a chance to do anything, because if you do, they'll circle around you and possibly grab you, and do a suplex, an atomic wedgie. You know, the game also taught you that women are just naturally inherently weaker than normal, except for the ones that come and attack you in spandex. They have whips. And the game taught you that Sagat had a lot of cousins named Donovan, and they love to get in street fights, but they don't know how to do the tiger shot projectiles. They can't do the tiger uppercut that well, so they just get punched out a lot by Gore. Playing these games as a kid on the Sega, you know, it just gave you kind of a perspective on the world. Yeah, there you go, eat a whole turkey. It gave you a kind of perspective on the world where you can kind of sit back and say, yeah, you know, this is the state the world's in. This is how I fit into the world. I fit into the hierarchy of society. Because, you know, it's day-to-day life. This is how it was in the 80s. Any regular day, you could be down at the wharf, you know, or on the streets of Rage, punching people, hitting them with pipes and knives. Really, the only thing that's embellished here is that when you drag your fist on the ground, you get blood instead of fire. But other than that, it's just, you know, kids think it's so amazing seeing this, how cool the graphics are. But when you're out there in real life on the streets of Rage, you're not even thinking about the graphics. You're just thinking, you know, I'm out here, need to work for peace and friendship. I need to fucking bust some heads. Where's the nearest beer bottle I can break? Where's the nearest stovepipe? Just now there was a big transition and the music totally changed tone. I think that maybe wasn't the best decision on the part of the creative team behind this. Again there, though, you can see they let you freely beat up the women because Tipper Gore, she hadn't come up with her list yet of bad video games and music and stuff that said you couldn't hit women. So at this point, you know, you would still see women in video games and you could beat the crap out of them if you needed to educate them. You can see the time of day has changed. Oh shit. That guy's named Shiva. He's like a ninja or something. I don't know if I can fucking beat that guy. Of course he has multiple health bars. He can grapple faster than me. What the fuck? Okay. Cheap asshole. Fucker. Alright, Shiva. Fuck. Damn it. This might be the one guy that can beat the jump kick. Okay, fuck that.